All right. Hello, hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Sorry about the late start. Just give me 1 second to check to make sure that all is good. And if you can hear me, please let me know in chat. Okay. Today we are going to be doing a task 2 correction, and this is actually from one of you guys. This one's from Krishna. Apologies for not getting the notification out to you in a timely manner. We decided to do yours just at the last minute. Remember, if you guys want to have your essays corrected, you guys can send it to us at corrections@theieltsgrind.com. You guys can see that both up in the upper right hand corner and also in the description. We will be happy to mark it completely for free, so long as you are brave and you don't mind it being done live in front of many people. By the way, remember, just really quickly, the basics. This is a live YouTube stream, and so make sure that you are watching it live. You guys can see that here. Make sure that you are not in the past, because then you will not be able to interact with us. So please make sure you press that live button, press that like button, and don't forget that you can always look at the document here, and you can view the schedule for this upcoming week right here. This is the document that we'll be working with, so if I'm going too fast in the live stream, you guys can always watch it there. Today we are going to be doing 3 things. First of all, of course, we are going to be looking at her essay and going line by line to say what was good, what was bad, what could be improved. As we go through, we may make some changes. For example, if the grammar or vocab is bad. Second, after we go through task achievement, cohesion and coherence, lexical resource, which is vocabulary, and grammar, we will then look at the model essay that I wrote myself to give you some really high-level vocab and ideas for how to connect them. And then finally, we will be finishing body 2 of the previous problem solution live stream that I never wrote the end of. I never wrote body 2. So we will be doing those 3 things today. So let's get started. Remember, you can see the document yourself. It is shared with everybody. Anyone can get the link from the description of the YouTube video and jump into this document and see what we're doing. So without further ado, Krishna, thank you so much for your submission. And let's see how you did. Normally, beforehand, I will have highlighted everything, but I want to show you guys my thought process today and go line by line with you guys. With that being said, I also want you guys to be reading this and letting me know in chat what you think was good or bad, because she's probably making similar mistakes that you are, or she's doing things that impress you. So let me know in chat how you do. If you guys don't understand any sentences that she wrote, I will of course either translate them if they were mistakes or explain them to you if it was too high level. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in chat. Alright, so let's get into this. Due to advances in technology, face-to-face interaction between people is occurring less than ever. What problems can this cause, and what are some possible solutions? So, first of all, I'll ask the chat now, what type of essay is this? What should the structure be? I'm going to give you guys a minute to write down an answer yourself while I continue to talk. If no one says in about 1 minute, then of course I will tell you the answer. So, I want to point something out while you guys are typing. This is super dangerous. A lot of students will probably get this essay wrong because of this first half, what body 1 will probably be about. The thing is the referencing. What problems can this cause? Some people may try to say, oh, advances in technology. But that would be wrong. What you're writing about is that face-to-face interactions between people is occurring less than ever. Now, of course, you do need to mention the fact that it's due to technology, but you're going to have to talk about the problems that are caused by people not talking together. I've said this in previous live streams, this is the one part of the IELTS exam I'm not extremely happy about, and that is to get a lot of these writing task 2s correct, you need to understand the nuance. I can see this causing a lot of problems where people talk about either they make one of two mistakes. Number one, they make the mistake because they talk about the problems that come from technology. If you did that, that's indicative of like a 5, 6 at the most because you're so off topic for your body one. The second problem that I could see is that they talk about the causes of low face-to-face interaction. This is another wrong essay. You need to talk about the causes that come from low face-to-face interactions. So a lot of people would make those two mistakes. Now I know why the IELTS exam does this. They do this in order to, if you are higher level, you will understand the nuance. You will understand the little details in the question and you won't make that mistake. And if you're lower level, you won't understand the question completely, and so you will make those mistakes, and it's really easy for the examiner to see if you're high or low level. But I still don't like it. I feel like it's kind of cheap. Of course, the part of the essay that students probably will find really easy is body 2, which is the solutions. By the way, if you haven't realized it yet, this is clearly a cause-solution essay. This is very similar to a problem-solution essay. First of all, your intro will rephrase the prompt or introduce the topic. Your last sentence, of course, will be your thesis, where you say, this essay will discuss the causes of, or actually the causes, what problems can this cause? Yeah. You will talk about the problems that arise from this. So it's a problem solution essay, not a cause solution essay. Yes. Okay, tricky. And then of course body 2 will be the solutions. Remember guys, if I'm going too fast or if I'm going too slow, just let me know in chat. Please say hello in chat. Make me feel loved and welcome. And I will do the same for you as you guys say hello. All right. That is a perfect thesis by I'm sorry, my Chinese is not the best. But that is a fantastic thesis. By the way, if you have an English name, please let me know, just so that you guys can see. I'll make, in case you guys don't see from chat, we will write student thoughts. And I just want to say that is a fantastic thesis that you have right there. Great job with that. Okay. Let me just copy and paste this in. And welcome. I haven't seen you in one of my live streams before. You might have been to Phil's. But yes, this essay will discuss the problem of decreasing face-to-face communication. This is great, good paraphrasing. And give some possible solutions. Just a little thing to this issue. All right, fantastic. Hello, welcome, thanks. Okay, but let's go into Krishna's essay. So because of advancement in technology, communicating directly between people is becoming less than before. Again, right now we're looking only at task achievement. We're not looking at grammar or vocabulary unless it affects task achievement. So if you see little mistakes right now, we're not going to fix them. That will be later. This trend can deteriorate relationships and make physical and verbal interaction fade away from our lives. This is really good. This would actually be stuff that I would put in body 1 instead of in the intro, just because it is a really good point. The viable solutions are to limit the use of technology in relationships and have regular interactions with people around us. Okay, so just from reading this intro, I have really high hopes for her vocab and grammar. She is clearly between a 7 and an 8 when it comes to vocab and grammar, which will help her a lot. Hello, Krishna. Thank you so much. I'm assuming you are the person who submitted this essay. Thank you so much for submitting. I'm assuming you are the Krishna who sent this. By the way, looking at your profile picture, I am the worst person with names. Jeez. Krishna is a guy. I am sorry for calling you her before. This is the 3rd time that this has happened. 2 previous students, I called them guys and they were girls. I am the worst with names. I am so sorry, guys. But again, thank you so much for submitting this essay. Let's see how good it is and also what we can do to continue to improve it. All right, so like I said, this thesis, it actually does the job it's supposed to. I always recommend that you have a very vague thesis. It's just a really simple sentence that's, this essay will discuss the problems that come from decreasing interactions with people and offer some solutions. This is what I always tell students to do because it's really fast, easy, and simple. Remember, you have to deal with time control here. But that being said, the way that Krishna has done his thesis, it's the same information, he just goes into more detail. So there's no problem here. I'm actually really happy with his thesis. Again, looking at the grammar and vocab in his intro, I'm thinking between a 7 and an 8 for vocab. But let's see if that stands up. Let's see if that continues. All right, so body 2. Body 1, remember this needs to be about the problems that come from decreasing face-to-face interaction. So again, we talked about earlier, if anyone just dropped in, a common problem is that they will have the wrong body 1 topic. But I'm pretty sure that he's got it down. So let's see his topic sentence. Advancement in technology has made physical, verbal, and verbal interaction disappear from our lives. Okay. This is like a hook to the paragraph, which you don't really need. When we look at my model essay, we'll see how we can make this is a fine topic sentence, but there's a little something missing, which we'll talk about when we get to the model essay. Again, this isn't a huge problem. This is just a minor thing that can be changed. So this is to say people are using good clarification. That's what he's doing here. So by the way, I'm going to highlight good CC words that I think you guys should try to steal. I'm pretty sure this essay is something that you guys should be stealing a lot from, because this is going to be a strong essay. This is to say that people are using technology maximum in their lives. Okay, this is the first vocab mistake that I see. And because of this vocab mistake, it's a little hard to understand the meaning, mostly because of the word here, maximum. So much that the person in the next room is using the internet to call another person in the next room. I would probably change this to the other room, but the mistake is so small that it doesn't affect understanding, which is really important, rather than conversating physically. This is the wrong word to use here, but I can understand what you're trying to say. Okay. Sorry guys, just 1 second. Okay, let's continue. Another problem is, so he's doing a really good job using his CC words to connect his ideas here. So this is the second problem that comes from it. So he gave a clarification about what it means and then an example of the problem. And the first problem that he's saying is that verbal interaction is disappearing from our lives. Okay, so he started with the problem in his topic sentence, and then he explained it using an example. Okay, so he did a good job here. I was going to say, this is not inherently a problem. He would need to explain that it's a problem, but he did do that in his topic sentence. So excellent job there. And so it's perfectly okay to say another problem because he said his first problem. Actually, now is a good time to explain why I was a little iffy about the topic sentence. The job of a topic sentence is to have a broad, general sentence that tells the reader what the paragraph is going to be about. It's kind of like a preview or a trailer for a movie. And so he used it to jump directly into his first point. I would actually recommend just a very basic sentence at the beginning that says, there are two main problems that come from this. Just as an example. So I'll add this to the bottom, because this is a task achievement thing. So alternative topic sentence. And again, the reason why this is a minor suggestion because his paragraph is quite strong actually. The reason I'm recommending this is just to, especially for the weaker students who may be watching this, it really helps you focus your essay. So it doesn't need to be a high-end or a complicated sentence. It just needs to tell the reader what the paragraph will be about. So this decline in face-to-face interaction is causing two main problems. And then he has the first problem right here, and then the second problem is here. So let's continue. Another problem is that because of advancement in technology, human relationships decreased. Now this is an example. Testing. Can you hear me now? Hello? Testing 1 2 3. Oh no. What was the third me? Hear me now. I'm sorry. I must have locked my mic. I turned it on and off and it fixed it. Please tell me, did you hear me when I explained the purpose of a topic sentence? And I talked about the reason why we needed, why I recommended having a basic topic sentence like this one. Is it still causing problems? Okay, there is noise. 1 second. Okay, sorry for the technical difficulties here, guys. Let me see if I can change some settings really fast. Can you guys still hear me now? Okay. Is my voice still clear? Okay. I'm not sure if it's my microphone or it could have been the AC in the background. I really hope it wasn't the AC, because actually I don't feel the heat. It's fine. Okay, if you guys could please tell me really quickly the last thing that you heard. Okay. Did you guys hear me talk about the alternative topic sentence? Did I finish that explanation, or do I need to say that again? Okay. By the way, thank you guys for telling me this. I'm glad that I could fix it quickly. The problems of technology. No. Okay. So, I'm gonna explain the topic sentence again very quickly, and then we'll keep going. So, what I was saying before was that. Oh, I don't need to say it again. Okay, perfect. So, we talked about why we need a topic sentence, and now we're going to another problem, so the second problem. And the problem here with relationships decreased was mainly because we don't know if it's talking about the number of relationships have decreased, the quality of the relationships have decreased. The grammar is fine. The vocab is wrong, mostly because you need to clarify what you mean. About what you mean, which is what you do in the next sentence. Haha. This is to say. Okay, so I really want to point out that this is 100% confident in want me to explain this. Geez. Okay. I see your chat. Why am I getting so many problems? Okay. I'm not sure if it's the hardware that I'm using or the software. I'm going to keep going a little bit more, but unfortunately, if these technical problems keep popping up, can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, if these technical problems keep popping up, unfortunately, we're going to have to end this live stream so I can try to figure out what the problem is and probably get it going tomorrow at the same time. But please let me know if you guys run into this problem again. And we'll see how long we can get. Okay. So, okay. So, also please let me know if there's an echo. because I am trying to hear with this video playing in the background as well. Okay, so I hope that you guys don't hear an echo. Let's keep going. So basically, the thing is, he did a really good job with clarifying, despite the fact that I couldn't understand what he was saying here. So this is to say that before, people used to pay a visit when someone in their relationship is not keeping well. This is not quite the right word to use here. However, in the present world, people use technology like Zoom, Skype, and WhatsApp applications to inquire about the well-being of their loved ones. This is extremely important. This decreases the physical interactions. Okay, up here, I see it now. This decreases the physical interactions between people and also weakens their bonds. There should be bonds, not bonding. We'll fix the vocab when we get to the vocab section. Again, I can understand the meaning even though it is an error. For example, many young people in Delhi whom I know do video calling to ask about the well-being of a person in the hospital rather than visiting them in person. Okay, this is the weakest part of this paragraph right here. This is an example. Let me change it to an easier red to see. This is an example of a circular argument. It's an example that isn't proving anything. So what you really need to do, you need to have an example about your young friend who does this, and you need to explain how it weakens their bond. This is what you need to be highlighting in your example. So just to write that out, just to show it, so this decreases the physical interactions between people and also weakens their bond. For example, I've had a falling out with my friend because when I had to go to the hospital, he didn't take the time to visit me. I thought we were close, but it's clear to me by his actions that he doesn't feel the same way. So he didn't take the time to visit me. He just sent me a text. I want you to see the difference between this example and the example that was in the paragraph. Now, I see this all the time. This is not a unique error. This is an example that I see students make constantly. They think that they have a good example, but all they're doing is saying the exact same information in an example form. Your examples they have to do work. There's a job that they have to do. They need to prove what you were saying. So the main problem here is that it weakens the bonds between people. So your example should show how it weakens the bonds between people. All right. So the task achievement here was pretty good. There were a few vocab errors, but I could still understand the main idea. Honestly, this last part of body 1 is the weakest part, and it does kind of drag down the essay a need to prove. And let me answer your question in 1 second. Your examples need to prove what you said earlier. Now, Krishna asked, can we give personal examples on the allowed to give your own personal experiences in your essay? Okay, I should be able to hear myself now. You guys can hear me as well, right? You guys can hear me as well, right? All right. I have no idea why this is happening. I'm probably going to go buy a new mic next time. Okay, but let's keep going. Sorry for these technical problems. So basically, yes, you can use personal examples. The main thing to remember is that you can use personal examples as long as they prove your point. So let's move on to body 2, which is the solutions essay. The viable solutions are to limit the use of technology when communicating with friends. This is a little bit of a weird way. This is a little bit of a weird sentence frame to use. The grammar is a bit strange, but that's okay. I can understand what you're trying to say here. This is because, good, when we decrease the use of technology in our lives, this gives more time to people to interact in the real world. This is true. This is a really good reason. Another viable solution, okay. So this is what I was saying before, where what you need to be doing is having a better topic sentence. So remember, you need to write a topic sentence that tells the reader what the paragraph will be about. So if anyone is watching, I'm going to give you guys a minute to try to write your own topic sentence for this paragraph. And you can write it while I continue to go over the rest of the paragraph. Then after I'm done explaining the good and the bad with the paragraph, we can look at which topic sentence was best. So let's just keep going then. Another viable solution is to have a regular outdoor meeting with people. This is to say, when people spend time outdoors, this is a pretty big problem that will actually affect your task achievement. So I will be adding a word here because you need it to understand the meaning here. Time outdoors. They can communicate with people face to face and can know people's emotion in the real world. Then the virtual one, again, the vocab here is kind of falling apart. Sorry, the grammar here is a bit weak, which is affecting the meaning. For example, many people in India feel relieved when they go out in the evenings to parks, public gardens, and centers when they meet people, talk happily about things happening in their lives. Okay, this was almost weak, but it ended up being okay because he does connect it to the main idea that this should be talking about. He needs to connect it to not just feeling relief, but he needs to connect it to solving the problem of using technology. Does this paragraph do a good job explaining testing 1, 2, 3? Yes, okay, you can still hear me. Okay. Does this paragraph do a good job introducing solutions and explaining how they would help? Let me think. So the solution that he comes up for, limit the use of technology, it is good when you communicate with friends. He gives a good reason for why this would work. If we aren't using technology, we will spend more time in the real world. But he doesn't connect it to increasing face-to-face interactions between people. Okay, gives more time to people to interact in the real world. In the real world, it doesn't... I can understand how it does connect to the topic of increasing interactions between people. However, it's a little vague. What I mean by that is that you need to be more specific. You need to be more specific in your connection to how these solutions directly increase face-to-face interactions. I think this explains the problem with this paragraph. You talk around the problem. Okay, this is to say, when people spend time outdoors, they can communicate with people face to face. And know people's emotions in the real world, unlike they can in the virtual world. I'm just going to fix this problem right here. So let me cross this out, just to make sure that it's clear. Instead of saying then, you should say, oh crap, what did I just say? I had a really good answer. And hello Raghav, welcome. Alright, they can know people's emotions in the real world, unlike they can in the virtual. Yes, perfect. Okay, and let me remove there. Okay. So I've changed the grammar to fix the mistake here. Okay. Did this fix it enough? Because the blue I'm highlighting, he is connecting it directly. But I'm not sure, Phil, can you help me out here? Do you feel like it's actually... Does it do enough work? Okay. This last part, it is directly connected. All right. You know what? This is okay. This is good enough. Okay. And Phil, who is Ninja Proofreader, he's saying, can you repeat the question? Do you feel like this is the comment that I was making, he needs to specifically connect how these solutions directly increase face-to-face interaction. When you read this paragraph, do you feel like it does that? Take a minute to think. I think part of the problem is that he's doing it, but the few vocab and grammar mistakes he makes it a little bit hard to understand whether or not it directly connects. Okay. You know what? Let's add a topic sentence like we said we were going to do. And see if we can fix that here. So let's this is Phil, by the way. He popped in. He's like, darn it, Mike, you're making me do work on my day off. By the way, thanks so much for joining, Phil, and moderating. And I see that there are 7 people. Welcome any new people. And like I said before, Raghav, thanks for joining. We will actually finally do the body 2 of the other essay today. Don't worry, that will happen. But let's see, did anyone write a topic sentence that they want to try out? And I will let you know whether or not it's on point or not. Ooh. From Bai, wrote one right here. Great. Let me throw this up under students' thoughts. Okay. Luckily, there are some viable things we can do to fix this phenomenon. This is a better topic sentence than having no topic sentence, that's for sure. This is quite nice. There's one more little thing that's missing, though, that we can add. Because we actually know what his paragraph is going to be about. So this is a perfectly good topic sentence for a general paragraph that is a solutions essay. If you use this, it would be a great topic sentence. But we're going to go a little bit above and beyond because we know specifically what his essay will be about. And thank you so much for throwing that in there. Yes. By the way, what Phil said, let me copy and paste that so that you guys can see. This is his solution to the problem here. He says that perhaps a comment about how to face interaction is more rewarding, just to be more direct in the last sentence. This is his advice. It's not my advice, so it must be terrible. No, it's good. Thanks, Phil. That is perfect. Let's write a good topic sentence. Like I said, if you just want to steal buys, this is a beautiful one to steal. Nice high-level word, good collocation. Steal it if you want to. But let's come up with another one. And by the way, this is open to anyone. If anyone else wants to share a topic sentence, feel free to. Bai is a super student for having done so. Okay, let's say the main thing we need to do to increase face-to-face interaction is to limit the use of technology and encourage people to go outside with others. Okay. This is the topic sentence that I would write specifically to be about his paragraph and to fix the problem here. So what Phil said was to just be more direct in the final example. I think that it's better to be more direct in the topic sentence. Tell them exactly say exactly the connection to the topic. in your first sentence so that they know because remember, all other sentences in your body paragraph is going to connect to your topic sentence. And so if you do that, then everything will connect to the topic correctly. Hello, Naz. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Happy to see you. I hope all is well. Okay. So that was his body 2. Let's look at his conclusion really fast. So in conclusion, technological advancements have damaged, we'll fix grammar later, damaged people's precious relationships. Little grammar thing here, but I can understand the meaning. And causing the disappearance of people's physical and verbal interactions. Okay. The viable solution to tackle these issues is to limit technology use and to have interactions with people outdoors. See, this would be a beautiful topic sentence. This would be a beautiful topic sentence for body 2. I didn't even need to write this one. You wrote it yourself. Okay. Oh no, and Naz has her exam in 10 days. Naz, I am quite confident in your ability to do well. You can do it. I believe in you. If you want, you can send us some more essays, and we'll let you know how you did. I hope Phil has been helping you with the speaking mock exams, which, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, we have been doing speaking mock exams, and by we, I mean Phil. Phil has been doing speaking mock exams. Let's look at the schedule to see what his next one is. If you guys show up on Friday at 8 p.m. our time, which is up here, you can see your respective time based on our Taipei time here. You can have a live mocking test. Mocking test. Yes, a mocking test. Phil will listen to you speak and mock you. No, that's a joke. Phil will give you a live mock speaking exam completely for free on Friday at 8. So I hope you guys join him then. Nice. So yes, Naz, good luck, and Raghav, nice for having had one with Phil today. That's great. Okay. But conclusion, pretty good. Small grammar, vocab mistakes, but it does what it's supposed to do. For some reason, no matter the culture, no matter the language that students learn, I have never really seen any problems with conclusions. I think conclusions might be universal. I think everyone has conclusions in their essays. Okay, but let's give him that task achievement score. By the way, this is the part that took the longest because we were going over it for the first time. For all the other sections, it's going to go a lot faster. So for task achievement 6 to 7. Now let's see which one we think it is. He was on point for a lot. He had a beautiful intro, a really good thesis that was above and beyond what he needed to do. However, he was lacking a topic sentence, which hurt the cohesion and the understanding of his paragraphs. It wasn't a big problem with body 1, but it was a big problem in body 2 because it stopped the direct connection from being understood. And so I think it's really close to a 7 for task achievement because he did do a pretty good job of addressing the task. The problem was mostly his example that wasn't an example, and the fact that it was hard to see how these directly connected to the problem for his solution. He did connect it with each sentence. It's true. However, I would definitely have given him a 7 if he had had a topic sentence like this in his body 1. Unfortunately, he had a beautiful topic sentence in his conclusion, which means that he knows how to write them well. If he just put it at the top of body 1, I would have given him a 7. So it was very close, but I think this is a 6. Okay, going next to his CC, I can just say from the offset, this is also between a 6 and a 7, but I'm definitely going to give him a 7 here, mostly because of how good he was at connecting his ideas together. He had some beautiful CC words. Yes, he did use the same one many times. However, he used it correctly. His ideas flowed logically. The only thing that was making me think he was a 6 was, again, because of how his body 2 wasn't directly connecting to how it can increase face-to-face interaction, but he still connected the ideas in his sentences and the ideas between his sentences quite well. So let me point out some things that I really liked. He did some great referencing, which I will highlight in green. He was direct and specific in his intro. Really, his intro was fantastic. When I read his intro, I was like, this is going to be between a 7 and an 8. So, let's see. He had a clarifying sentence. He continued to differentiate his problems. So, first problem, second problem. This is why CC words are so important to learn and how to learn to use them well. He used however correctly, which a lot of students really have trouble with. And this is an example that is being used well. He used referencing well again here, which directly connects and explains his previous one. And again, this was the only problem because it wasn't directly connecting. If he added a topic sentence, I would be even more confident about body 2. But again, he's connecting his ideas really, really well. He's using a lot of really good referencing. It's a 7. Okay. And then, of course, his conclusion was on point. Okay, so great CC. If you want to see how to logically connect ideas, I highly recommend you analyze his body 1. It is something that you could easily steal from. Okay, let's keep going. Now his vocab. This is going to be a little tricky because this is going to be between a 6 and a 7. The main reason it's going to be between a 6 and a 7 is because of the mistakes that he was making. So let's point out some of the good stuff and the bad stuff. Can deteriorate relationships. Great, high level, good. Fade away from our lives, again, beautiful, really good. The viable solutions, this, he's using it correctly here. He uses it incorrectly later, but he uses it correctly here, and it is a strong collocation. Remember, collocations are words that naturally go together. Fast car is a collocation, quick car is not. Quick car sounds weird. And have regular interactions with the people around us. So again, really good collocations. Advancements in technology, nice. Again, this section and the grammar section will be quite fast, and then we will go on to the next section where we brainstorm together, which I think we have a lot of interaction today. Thank you guys so much for joining and speaking in chat. It really makes me happy. Has a big smile on my face right now. So let's quickly go through this. Has made these interactions disappear from our lives. He has a lot of really good stuff here. But then he starts making mistakes like here. Let's see if we can fix that. This is to say that people are using technology maximum in their lives. They are using technology way too much in their lives, or they're over-reliant on technology. If we wanted to be more specific, we could also say using technology during every waking moment. This would be good enough for a 7 because it's correct. This would be between a 7 and an 8 during every waking moment because it is such high level vocabulary. They have very similar meanings. Again, if you guys don't understand something I say, feel free to ask in chat. Okay. So much that the person in the next room is using the internet to call the other person in the next room rather than conversating physically. We're just going to fix this here. Conversing. Just a little, that's more of a spelling mistake, and so it's okay. This was a much bigger mistake because a normal non-English teaching speaker would have no idea what you meant. So this is an example of, this could drag you all the way down to a 5, but because the rest of your essay is closer to being a 6 and a 7, it's not going to do that. But it is something you need to look out for. Is that because of the advancement, okay, we talked about this before. When you said this, were you saying that it has, oh crap, sorry. Did you mean that the quality has decreased? Did you mean the number of relationships has decreased? You need to be specific about which one. But again, your clarification saves you. This would be a bigger problem, but because you have the next sentence, it's not a terrible, terrible problem. Okay. Okay. People used to pay a visit when someone in their relationship is not keeping well. Does anyone know how to fix this? Let's make this a little interactive. I'm going to highlight the problems, and I want you guys to try to fix it. Type in chat how you would rephrase it to make it okay. Again, I can understand your meaning, so it's okay. To inquire about the well-being of their loved ones, this is nice. And also weakens their bonding. Do you guys know how to fix that? Okay. And this was good, but it's good for grammar. So, Krisha says the quality. Let's change that then. And by the way, I've highlighted 3 more problems. If you guys can, try to fix them. And of course, after about a minute, I will fix them myself if you guys don't have your own. Is because of the advancement of technology, the quality of our relationships has declined. Okay. So this is how I would fix this sentence. Anyone know how to fix not keeping well? When they are sick. That would be perfect. And this is something that I want to point out, is that sometimes you can use lower level vocabulary as long as the meaning is clear. The most important thing is that the reader, the IELTS examiner, can understand your essay. So don't always try to be fancy just to be fancy. If you can say something clearly, just say that. So when they are sick is perfect. It's beautiful. You could also say, is not doing well. And then finally, there was one more that I thought of. Is not keeping well. Is not doing well when they are sick. Okay, yeah. Either of those work. Okay. How about down here, bonding? This one's really easy to fix. Also weakens their bonds. Okay. So these were the vocab mistakes, but again, they're not terrible, and you still have some really good high-level stuff that you're using correctly. Going down here, the viable solutions are to limit the use of technology when communicating with friends. This is a problem. because you're going to say that there's viable solutions, but then you only have one example. So this looks like a task achievement thing, but it's a vocab thing. You have a problem with plurals right here. But I can understand your meaning perfectly fine. Limit the use of technology is a good collocation. When we decrease the use of technology in our lives, this gives us more time to people. Not sure what that means. This gives more time, to people to interact in the real world. Nice. Is to have a regular outdoor meeting with people. This is grammar. They can communicate. I'm going to point this out because it kind of weakens your argument a little. Try not to use can. Try to be more direct. Use present simple. And what you guys said, not feeling well when they're sick, is not doing well. Aren't feeling well is another good one. Nice. And then Raghav says when they suffer from ailments. This is, I'm going to write this down because this is an example of ailments is a very high level word. Okay. He even uses the right collocation here. However, this is not a situation when we would say this. Saying this in a paragraph when they suffer from ailments is what I wanted to say before. This is a great example. Thank you so much for saying this. Of trying to use high-level vocabulary just to use high-level vocabulary. Suffer from ailments, high level. However, in this situation, the tone of his essay, it's not appropriate. It's too academic for the point that he was making. So when they are suffering would be okay, but when they suffer from ailments, it's an example of just using high-level vocab when you want to get a high score, and so it doesn't actually help you out because you're not using it correctly. So thank you so much. This is exactly why it is important to type in chat like my super students, like you guys are doing, because this is how you improve. Okay. So down here, they can communicate with people face to face and can know people's emotions in the real world. Know people's emotions is a bad collocation. I understand your meaning, but it's not great. See if you can come up with a better way to say that. Feel relieved when they go out in the evenings to parks, public areas, and centers where they meet people, talk happily about things happening in their lives. Okay. Yeah. Damage people's precious relationships. This is okay. It sounds a little strange, but it's not wrong. This is a grammar mistake, so not vocab. The disappearance of people's verbal and physical interactions. Again, this is, I understand what you're saying. It's not technically wrong, but it's a little bit weird to say. But the last sentence is freaking beautiful. Okay. Weaken their bonds or weaken the bonds between them. Ooh, both of those are good. Also weakens their bonds. Weakens the bonds between them. Thank you. Bye, that's great. Yes, that is also nice, pretty high level. Okay, guys, so that was vocabulary. This is definitely, again, between a 6 and a 7. He has a lot of stuff that is good, easy to understand. His mistakes are not too numerous. The biggest thing that is hurting him is technology maximum. This is a really big mistake because this is the type of mistake that a 5 would make. However, the other mistakes are not huge. They're pretty small. And because of that, so this is a 6 mistake, this is a 6 mistake, and this is a 6 mistake. He has some, the bright blue are sevens, clearly sevens. Looking at the whole thing, I'm going to give this one a 7 in vocabulary. However, I think that there would be some other examiners. I think that there would be some examiners who would give it a 6, just because there needs to be more blue in your body 1, and there needs to be more blue in your body 2. So, if this was like a mock exam that I was giving back to a student, I would say an A-. And what that means is I'm giving this a 7 if your target goal was a 7. However, if you made a few more mistakes, it would be a 6. And maybe if you had a bad day, it would be a 6. Okay. But so far, that's pretty good. 6, 7, 7. And let's see the last one. Now, his grammar is actually really good. He uses relative clauses a lot, and he uses them very well. So, let's see. There were just a few little mistakes that we're going to fix, and then we're going to look at it overall to give him a score. Less common than before. And make. You can either get rid of and, or you can change making to make. I'm cheating a little bit because I'm just going through and doing, this is actually okay. Rather than the virtual one. I liked what I changed it to better, unlike the virtual one. Damage people's precious relationships and cause. So the big grammar thing is be careful of and ing. Yes. But again, these are small mistakes. Now we're going to go through and highlight the good stuff. Communicating directly between people is becoming beautiful. Okay. There's actually a lot of really good stuff here. This is a 7. It's not an 8 because there are still those problems, and he's not quite, especially in body 2, he's not quite using the grammar that a native speaker would be using, but he's close. This is a 7. This is a strong 7. Okay. See that. Yeah, there's not too much more to say. I'm trying to find those beautiful relative clauses in order to highlight them for you guys. When they go out in the evenings to parks, blah, 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 blah. This was nice. There was another one that was using where, which was great. Sorry guys, just 1 second, and then we'll move on to the sample essay, and then we'll do some brainstorming together if you guys are still here. I know that this has been going on for quite some time. You guys are doing great sticking around for this long. Okay. Okay. To inquire, this is a good clause using the infinitive, an infinitive clause. Okay. Yeah, this is a 7. This is a clear 7. Sorry, I'm not doing too much to go through, but that's because it was mostly great. Okay, so total was task response was a 6. CC was a 7. It was a little bit of a weak 7, mostly because of body 2. LR was a 7. Again, it was a weak 7 because of the mistakes. And then finally, GRA was a strong 7. So the total score would be a 6.5. Okay. So, not too bad, but you do need to be careful about the CC and the G and the LR, or vocabulary. Alright guys, we're going to go over the sample essay, the model essay, really fast. I just want to highlight some good things here. Again, this is written by a native speaker, so if there is very high level vocabulary or grammar or even connections between ideas that you don't understand, you guys can ask. This is a live stream. You guys can ask anything, but we are going to go through it quite quickly. So with the rise of the internet and the ubiquity of mobile phones and other devices, we are spending less time with real people and more time with our faces glued to our phones. So what I'm highlighting here are the level 8, level 9 words. So using ubiquity correctly, faces glued to phones is very, very high level. And this is what I was talking about before, where this is all you needed to do. Krishna's essay was perfectly fine with its thesis, but you don't need to be that detailed. This essay will discuss the problems that this is causing, as well as some solutions. This is all you need to say. Okay. Now, let's see my topic sentence. There are numerous problems that arise from a lack of face-to-face interaction. I am directly connecting it to the topic. A lack of face-to-face interaction, or a lessening of face-to-face interactions. I have CC words that list my points. It creates more opportunities for miscommunication. So this is a first problem. Let's use purple. Yes. Ugh, that's an ugly purple. Let's use lighter purple. Okay. Both at work and in personal lives. A lot of communication happens through reading body language, and when people are primarily communicating, this is great vocab. Through email, this, good referencing, is severely lacking. This is referencing. Do you guys know what this means? I'll let you guys try to guess what this means while I continue. Please let me know in chat. Sarcasm, humor, or even seriousness is often misinterpreted through textual communication. So this is an example that works. This is an example that's proving what I was saying. I was saying that the problem is because of body language. There is a lack of body language. This is what this means. This means reading body language. So body language is severely lacking when you communicate through text. And then this is an example of that happening. And then I have one more point that many people are losing basic social skills. And then self-imposed isolation. This is an example of an 8. Again, if you don't understand any of the blue, please let me know and I will explain the meaning to you. Okay. Secondly, a lot of relationships are suffering. So again, CC word, connecting my ideas. All relationships require time, energy, and effort to maintain. So it is no wonder that people the world over, that means all over the world, are feeling more and more lonely and find themselves less connected with the people around them. So I'm actually having a lot of ideas that are similar to Krishna's. And I wrote this before I read Krishna's. So this is basically a lot of his ideas, just with higher level vocabulary, high level grammar. If you don't understand everything, that's okay. I'm just putting this out there so that you can try to steal the stuff that you like. Okay. People wrongly believe this is good because it's showing some so wrongly believe that the instant and constant communication they have with people on their phones is enough. But it simply isn't. Honestly, it is no surprise people are angrier, sadder, and more frustrated nowadays. So again, this is proving the point. The greens are the points that I'm making, the blue is high-level vocabulary, and the purple, I completely forgot why I said the purple. Okay, so take this as you will. I hope you guys see how the ideas are connected. And everything is about the problems that come from lessening face-to-face interaction. Again, the main things are because there's no body language, there's more miscommunication, people are losing basic social skills, and then finally, people are angrier, sadder, and more frustrated because they can't connect with the people around them. Okay. Let's go down to body 2 really fast. Again, we have a very clear topic sentence. To solve this problem, we need to educate people about the harms that come with self-isolation. And by the way, self-isolation is going back up here, self-imposed isolation. I'm connecting it here. I'm connecting it between the two paragraphs. This is something that you need to do if you want an 8 or a 9, but if you only need a 7, it's fine. You don't need to have that connection between paragraphs. So this is because a lot of people don't even realize the harm. And this is why an education campaign works. Then I say specifically what should be done. And this is something that a lot of students don't do. They're very vague. They say, oh, the government should do something. If you are more specific with your solution, it will really help you a lot. So I think that they should create a government task force to get the word out. And get the word out means that you tell people a message. So you spread a message to people of all ages that they need to put their phones down if they want to be happier. This is the main point. The government needs to give this message to people: put down your phones. Do any of you guys take days off from social media, where maybe you turn off Twitter or Instagram for a whole day? Has anyone done that? A high-level way to say that is a detox, social media detox. Yes, or maybe giving up video games. Let me know in chat if you have, and what happened, and whether or not it made you happier. Okay, paired with this is a high-level CC word. The government should be creating social programs so that when people get off their phones, so the government, again, I'm saying who should do it, and I'm saying what they should do. So Krishna's essay was talking about people going outside to go to the park. That's more of an individual thing, but we'll get to that in a second. Again, so, really important, when people get off their phones, they actually have somewhere they can go and connect with people. Again, the point is here, but this is what a lot of students forget to say. Remember, a lot of students have this problem where they assume that the reader where they assume that the reader can see the connections. But remember, what I always tell my students, English readers, English listeners are stupid. You need to say every connection or the connection is not there. And connect with people. This is connecting to the main idea. I see Kurish says never done that. You've never taken a break from social media? Yes. I've taken a break from gaming. Never taken a break from social media before. But a lot of people say that it works. Yes. So, continuing on, obviously these events would be phone-free zones. Again, nice high-level vocab, but also connects to the point. I have one more thing that I added here. This is called a concession. Or this is where you talk about what the other side say. So there's a few things that I need to point out here. First of all, I'll use light purple. Many would argue this is saying it's not my opinion, it's the other people's opinion. So many people would argue this is talking about the problem, should be an individual's responsibility to change since this is a personal problem. I believe this problem is too big for the government not to get involved. So what I'm saying is, even though some people say that it should be an individual's job to fix this since it's their personal problem, I'm saying that it should be the government's job because it's too big of a problem for individuals to do it on their own. Do you guys like this solution? Would you guys want the government to educate people, to help organize activities so people can go out and talk to people instead of being on their phones? Do you think that this is good, or do you think that would be a bad idea and that the government shouldn't get in our lives? By the way, Bai says to pair with this. Thank you so much for asking this question. Paired with this is a CC word that means, let's see. Paired with this is connecting this idea, the first idea, with a second idea. So this is saying that at the same time, so connected with this, the government should also do this second thing. So one more time, I introduced the first solution. The government should create a task force to educate people. And then I'm saying the government should also do another thing. So paired with this, at the same time and connected to my first solution, the government should do this second solution. Really good question, Bai. Thank you for asking that. Okay. And by the way, if anyone else has any questions about the vocabulary or the CC or the logic that I'm using, please let me know. And again, I want you guys to see I have a very clear topic sentence for both of my paragraphs. This is something that you guys really should try to do. If you want to write your own body paragraphs and put it in the comments, me and Phil can correct them. Or if you just want to practice writing topic sentences, I will let you know if they're okay. Just leave them in the comments after this video is published. Finally, we'll do the conclusion really fast because no one ever has problems with conclusions. So to conclude, the way we are living now, with entertainment just a swipe away and these shallow relationships we are choosing to maintain, we as individuals and as a society are suffering greatly. So this is just paraphrasing body one. To combat this rise in miscommunication and negativity, again, body one, we need to address the root of the problem and get the government involved to promote healthy relationships and get people to put their phones down. Okay. Alright guys, so that brings us to the end of Krishna's corrections. Again, Krishna, thank you so much for submitting your essay. You guys can all submit your essays as well, and also looking at this model essay. Remember guys, you guys can see this yourself in the details. If you guys want to copy and paste the whole essay and look at it yourself, you can totally do that. If you guys just in the description of this video, click docs.google.com, you guys can see it right here, and you guys can look at it in detail on your own. I highly recommend it. Now, before we end the stream, there are two more things that I want to do. First of all, we do need to finish the problem solution body. And second of all, I want you guys, if you want, I want you guys to take some time and try to brainstorm your own ideas for this essay. A lot of students have trouble brainstorming. So I wanted to give you guys some time to try to do this on your own while we also work at the same time on the old problem solution body. Because Raghav left a comment that was 100% true. He said, Michael, you never finished body 2 of your previous live stream. So, we are going to practice brainstorming ideas because it looks like we have a pretty active chat. There's a bunch of you guys there. We're going to brainstorm ideas for this essay. Let me just put it in a table so it looks a little bit more professional. You guys have already seen my ideas, and you have seen Raghav's ideas. I want you guys to come up with some big ideas for body 1. The results of the problems that come from lessening face-to-face interaction. And then also body 2, which is solutions to get people to interact more in person. And then if you guys wanted to really get on point, address the root cause. Technology. So what I want you guys to do, just to do the first one, yeah, that's wrong. The lessening. Hey, how do you spell lessening? L-E-S-S-O-N-I-N-G? E-N, okay, thanks. Ignore that. It's the lessening of face-to-face interaction. I want you guys, and I see some people are already talking in chat, that's fantastic. I want you guys to come up with the big problems, with the big ideas. These are going to be things that we could turn into a topic sentence. I want us to come up with at least 6, and then after that, we will come up with details for the 1 or 2 that we choose. So just to take it from my own essay, and then I'll look at chat because I see people are already typing, which is great. And I will answer your question in a second, Raghav. Let's take the ones that both me and Krish have said. I said the problems come from, the problems that come from lessening interactions, more miscommunication. And this is due to body language, but we'll get to that later. We have shallower relationships, or relationships are suffering. And were there any more for either mine or Kurish? So miscommunications, and people are angrier, sadder, and more frustrated. Have become angrier, sadder, and more frustrated. And let's just really fastly go up to Kurish's body 1. And he says, because people are using it too much, we aren't talking to each other, and the quality of relationships have decreased. And so we have less physical and verbal interaction. That's the main thing. That's great. Okay, so I want you guys to take some time to come up with your own and type them in chat while I answer the questions that are in chat right now. So let's go first with Kurish. You won a 7, so I have good news. You're very, very, very close, which is good. That 6.5 is really close to the 7 that you need. Unfortunately, your CC and your LR were weak 7s. So to improve your vocab, what I recommend you do is read 20 minutes every day. This is something that I always recommend to my students who are taking my IELTS classes, because unfortunately class time, we only have so much of it. Most of it is spent on learning about the test, but you still need to be improving your own vocabulary and general English ability. And the best way to improve your vocabulary is to read for fun. So if your exam is coming soon, because your vocab is already quite good, I would recommend things like Time Magazine or National Geographic, because the language in these magazines are very similar, number one, to the reading on the IELTS exam, and then number two is the articles that you find in there are actually quite close to the tone that you would want to make in your own task 2 writing. So that's something that you can keep in mind. That will help your vocabulary score. With your task achievement, you were close. You were close to your 7. If you had topic sentences that better connected your ideas, and if your vocabulary was a little bit stronger, and if you had a better example, you would have gotten your 7. Specifically, what you can do is just read more model essays and specifically look on how they have topic sentences, and also model answers. And you specifically need to look at their topic sentences and how they use examples. I have a feeling that you're actually quite close to the score that you need, even though your CC and your LR were close to 6s. You're right on the edge, but if you read every day and you read more model answers, I have a feeling that you can get the score you want. Another thing that you can do is, if you know that your writing is weaker and you know that your reading or your listening is stronger, you can offset that. So for example, if you know that you can consistently get a 6.5 in writing and you need a 7, maybe you should try to aim for an 8 in reading, because that will raise your score up. There's a lot of different strategies you can use there. Okay. And then Bai says, I believe that would be ideally a solution. However, okay. And let's look at what Bai said, and then we'll jump right on into answering Karish's question, okay, which is what we're practicing here. So, it looks like Bai was saying this in response to my own paragraph. This is option for body 2, so I believe that would be an ideal solution. However, people might argue that there's no place for government to meddle in what people do with their time and their phones. Okay, so this is his answer to a question I asked earlier. Okay, that is fair. That is fair. I think a lot of people would have a problem with that. Yes. All right, so let's get on to Krisha's question, which is how you can generate ideas for any question in the IELTS Task 2. And what it comes down to is brainstorming ideas is a skill. This is a skill that you can improve, but let me ask you a question. How do you get better at shooting in basketball? Yes, and we'll get to your response to what I was saying earlier. Thanks. But if you want to get better at shooting or passing in basketball, what do you need to do? And by the way, this is answering Krishna's question about how to brainstorm activities for any task 2. So if you want to get better at shooting in basketball, what do you need to do? Yes, Krishna answered it himself. Practice. So brainstorming is a skill, and so you just need to practice. If you know other people, I recommend you practice with other people. But really what we're doing right here, coming up with ideas as a group, is the best way to improve, because you start to learn how other people think. And once you know how they think, you can start thinking like them and steal ideas that they would come up with. So we actually have a Discord channel. Again, you can see that in our description. There is a Discord channel right here, and we actually have a section of our Discord channel that is just for brainstorming task 2s. So right down here, you guys won't have this message, but yeah, you guys can find other people and just brainstorm task 2s. What I recommend you do is you take a topic like this, you break it down into body 1 and body 2, big ideas, and then you guys just spend 5 minutes, because remember, the IELTS exam is timed, so you need to practice and practice, that's right, bye. So you need to be able to do this quickly and just see how many ideas you can come up with. Ideally, you should be coming up with 6 big ideas in about 2 to 3 minutes. So when you have your exam soon, that's how fast you should be coming up with big ideas. After you come up with big ideas, then you need to be, then you need to choose the best ones to write about. And so my next question for you guys is, after you come up with 6 big ideas, which ideas should you choose to come up with details for and write about? Should you choose the ideas that are most interesting and strongest arguments, or should you choose the ideas that are easiest to write? What do you guys think? And while you guys are thinking to answer that, let's see if we can come up with any more problems that come from lessening's face-to-face interactions. And also some solutions to get people to interact more. Because body 2 is the one that I really think we should practice brainstorming, because this was the one that I think people have the most problems with, actually. And everyone wrote down the right answer. It is easy to write. Don't choose the complicated one that is a great argument if you can't explain it clearly. Because this is an English test. It's not a general intelligence test. It's not testing your ability to make an argument, except for if you're trying for an 8 or a 9. It's testing your English ability. So choose the easy one to write and stick with that. So we're going to spend the next 4 minutes. I'm sorry that I don't have any music to pass the time with, but I want you guys to put in chat some more big ideas. Now remember, we're not coming up with details right now. This is not the stage for coming up with details. We are coming up with big ideas. So we have some big ideas here, but we need to come up with even more. And I'm going to give you 1 or 2 solutions from my essay. Government public education campaign. Okay. Government sponsored phone-free activities. These were the ones I came up with. Let's see, what did Krishna say in his essay for body 2? Limit technology. So individuals choose to limit their own technology use and spend time outdoors. So this is something that was a little bit weak in Krishna's body 2, was he was too vague. He needed to say individuals choose to limit their own tech use, and individuals choose to go outside and talk with people. So can you guys come up with more answers and more problems that come from lessening face-to-face interaction? Again, I'll give you guys about 3 to 4 minutes to come up with ideas. let's see if we can do this together. By the way, practice is how you get better, so you guys need to come up with these ideas. And then I'll write them down as you say them. Take your time and just put it in chat when you're done. In case you've just joined us, you guys are coming up with your own big ideas, not details. You guys are coming up with the big ideas that you guys could write yourself. Big ideas would be examples of things that you can turn into a topic sentence and then go into details in your essay yourself. So take your time, come up with some of your own answers. You guys can see mine here. Also, while I have you guys, our next live stream, by the way, is going to be tomorrow at 8, where Phil will be doing a static data task 1. I believe in you guys. You guys can do this. Practice makes perfect. Can you come up with any more solutions to get people to interact more? I would start singing to give you guys some music, but I have a feeling then I would lose all of my viewers. Okay, I'll give you guys 1 more minute to finish coming up with ideas, because it looks like I'm scaring people away. The view count just keeps dropping. Ooh, I like that one. Phone-free parties and functions. Okay. Now my question to you, Krish, is would this be, who would be organizing this? How would this be implemented? How would this be done? So is it the government doing these? Is this individuals throwing these? Because this is something that was kind of missing in your essay. That's why I'm asking. It's a great idea. I just need to know a little bit more what you mean by that. A lack of responsibilities. Is that for a problem that comes from it, or is that a solution? Raghav, which one is this for? Buddy 1 or Buddy 2? And thank you so much for submitting this, Raghav. Awesome. Okay, Body 1. So one of the problems is a lessening of face-to-face interaction, is that there is a lack of responsibility. Okay. Can you explain that a little bit more, Raghav, just so I can understand it? Okay. Thrown, or I'll say organized. Organized by local leaders. Okay. Or local government. Nice. These are really good. Let's see if anyone can come up with any more great ideas to put in here. So I'm not sure if you guys realize this, but it has been about 8 to 10 minutes of you guys thinking about what to write, which is a little bit slow. Let's see if you guys can come up with ideas a little bit faster. I believe in you guys. You guys can do it. And I know that it's hard in the beginning, but I also know that you guys can get better at this and faster at this. Just throw ideas out there. I will let you know if they're okay or not. Be brave. Okay, this is similar to up here, but encourage people to spend time outside. Okay, who should encourage them? Local governments again? Or is this like a public awareness campaign? Who would do the encouraging? Okay, and Raghav is answering about the lack of responsibility. Okay, so Raghav is saying there's a lack of responsibility at work with students and kids, and that it's everywhere. How is that connected, though? My question, Raghav, is how is that connected to lessening face-to-face interaction? Because remember, this is what it's about. That's the connection that I don't see. If you can explain that, Raghav, I think it would be great. Okay. So this is what was missing in your body 2, Krish. Public awareness campaign to encourage people to spend time outside. All right. These are great. Now, let's see another one. Can the government just cut off the internet for one day? That's great. I'll write down that one too. Government cuts off internet for one day a week, a month. I think that's a great idea. However, I think that it would quickly turn into The Purge. Do you guys know that movie, The Purge, where the government says everything is legal? I think that the world would end if the governments cut off the internet. People would riot in the streets. But I agree. I would write an essay about that. I'm going to start putting my own up here, but feel free to continue with your own ideas. These are all great. We, as a community, decide to keep all electronics in one area, like a library or a workstation. Now, if this is not clear enough, please let me know and I can explain it a little bit more. But this would be, we as a community decide to keep all electronics in one area. So like, what I mean here is that when you're out and about, you don't have a phone. If you want to use a phone or a computer, you have to go to the one area to access them. Alternatively, you could say it the government. Yeah, it doesn't have to be practical. That's right. I mean, it it's weird if it's not practical, but it can be. It's your job to make this to prove it with your examples and such. Like and you can even comment on how it's impractical, but it's the best solution. Like I have a pretty like I'll do the I'll show a very similar one just to show the rest of you what me and Bai are talking about. We could say the government decides to keep all electronics in one area and disallow access to them outside this area. So this would be more like the government controls everything. So these are very similar. The difference is who's doing it. Is it a community agreeing to these rules, or is it the government telling you that this is the rule? This one may be practical, this one may not. You could write about either one of them. Yes. All right, these are fantastic. You guys did a really good job with these. So what I want to know is which ones of these do you think would be easiest to write about? If you guys are still coming up with ideas, that's great. That's what you should be doing. But if you guys can choose one or two of these ideas that you think are best, we'll stick it to body 2 because there weren't too many ideas for body 1, except for Raghav. Raghav was brave and had one for body 1. But look at body 2 and tell me which one or ones should we choose. Remember, these should be the easiest to write about. What we've done so far is just step 1. And honestly, after you keep practicing step 1, you should be able to do step 1 in about 2 to 3 minutes. Just come up with ideas. They don't have to be practical, they don't have to be good. Just come up with ideas that are on topic. So which ones do you guys choose? Okay, Chris says the government public campaign is easy to explain. So we've just finished part 1, which was coming up with the ideas. Now we are going to choose one and we are going to come up with details for it. So you could choose 1 or 2. So this is what it is. So big ideas, this was step 1. Is come up with possible topic sentence ideas. Step 2 is to choose 1 or 2 or 3 to brainstorm ideas. So details for it. So let's come up with some details. So first thing we should say is what this would be and why this would work, or how is it a good solution. We should answer both of these questions for our details. So what exactly would the campaign be? What do we mean by a public awareness campaign? This is the clarification that Krish was doing so well with. Okay. Educate people, or so we can choose 2 or 3. That's perfectly fine. So we'll put another one here. We'll choose Reghev said 2 or 3. Government-sponsored phone-free activities. Individuals choose to limit their own tech use. And then Bai said I think to educate people or encourage people to have more physical communication is easier. Well, I'll choose one from each of you. So government-sponsored phone-free activities. Actually, I wrote this essay, so we'll do this second one. Individuals choose to limit their use. And then it would be the same thing, what this would mean and why this would work. And then we will also do the ones that Bai pointed out, which is to educate people and encourage people to have more physical communication. Which one? Encourage people to have more physical communication. Where was that one? Okay. You know what, Bai? I think I know what your level probably is. So for yours, I'm not going to do the ones that you recommended. We're going to do the fun one. The government cut off the internet for a day. Every week. Okay. And Bai, I'm choosing this one for you because I think you're a little bit higher level. And so I think you're going to have fun with this. Okay. So we have our 3. Now what I want you guys to do, I'll do the first one so that you guys can see how this is done. And then I want you guys to be thinking on how you can do it for the second and for the third one. We're coming up with details so that we can have a good plan. Honestly, this is what I tell people all the time, but people always ignore my advice, which makes me so angry. If you have trouble writing quickly, a lot of the time, the problem is not that you are a slow writer. The problem is that you are thinking and writing at the same time. This is a really, really big problem, and this is why people write slowly. To fix this problem is very easy. Make a very good detailed plan. Even if it takes 10 minutes, even if it takes 15 minutes, if you have a good detailed plan where you know how your ideas connect to each other and you know what ideas you want to write about, writing quickly is not going to be a problem. So let's make a really detailed plan here so that all you would really need to do is copy and paste the ideas into sentences. Think first, write second. This is a good strategy. Think first, write second. All right, so let's do the public awareness campaign first as a group so that you guys can see what I mean. And then after that, I want you guys to do the same for individuals choose to limit their own tech use, and then also governments cut off the internet for 1 day a week. We'll make this clear. Okay, so public awareness campaign. So this would be the government makes a group, produce flyers, create an ad campaign, and these would teach people how when we choose phones over people, we are sad, angry, miserable. And then they would also include steps on how to So spend time outside. Should we choose spend time outside, or should we change this to encourage people to put their phones down, or encourage people to spend less time on their phones and more time with people? You could do outside, but I think that this one, just to make sure that it's clear in your body paragraph, we're going to make this the topic sentence, if that's okay with you guys. I think this will confuse less people if we have it be more direct, for example. Okay. And printing pamphlets is great. Produce flyers. Print pamphlets. Create an ad campaign. And this could be on TV. Okay. On how to limit tech use and how to make friends. Oh. I'm going to add another big idea that I just thought of. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. If anyone has heard me sneeze on a live stream before, don't be scared. You know how violent it is. Okay. So I'm going to add one more big idea that I just thought of, which is create a free public hotline for people who want to change their habits, or create a free public hotline for people who want to meet others. I like these ideas. These are great. I'm so smart. Okay, so include steps on how to limit tech use and how to make friends. So all of this is connected. So we would first say our topic sentence. To combat this problem, we should create a public awareness campaign to encourage people to spend less time on their phones. The government should make the group, and then this group should make flyers, pamphlets, and an ad. And inside this ad campaign, we need to teach people how to do this, and then also include steps. Now, if you this is already a lot of information, but if you really wanted to, you could give some examples. And I will say optional here, because this is already a lot of information. Because we still need to do this part. Why this would work, how this is a good solution. Can anyone tell me why this is a good solution, or why this would help affect it? This is tough. So I'll give you guys a minute to try to think of something yourself, but if you can't, it's okay. That's why I'm here, right? Okay. So I've given you 3 different possible answers to this that you could use. You only need to choose one. And this is what I'm talking about, where this is a skill that you guys can develop. I have been helping students with their IELTS stuff for so long. I am really good at this because I've practiced it so much. I can come up with ideas super fast. But I hope you guys can see these are 3 very different answers that directly connect to this question. And if you're working together, maybe Krish comes up with this one, maybe Bai comes up with this one, maybe Raghav comes up with this one, and then you guys share, and then you guys start to realize, oh, I can start thinking in terms of how it's cheaper, the costs compared to others. Oh, I can think about past examples. Oh, I can think about how it's better than the other solution because the other solution sucks. Yes. Ooh, and I like what Krish said. Let me add that one as well. This would work because people want to learn how they can live happy lives without technology. Nice, I really like that one. And then same with bye. Can we say once people make more friends in the real world, they get a chance to go outside? So by you are connecting it to the original topic sentence that we came up with, but we did change that a little bit just to make it more clear for new people who are coming in, because this one is a bit easier than go outside. Okay. So guys, this is, when I say practice brainstorming, this is what I want you guys to be doing. Because I'm pretty sure you guys could make this paragraph very quickly. You guys already have the ideas, you have what you need to say, you just need to put these into a paragraph. And once you do that, you're golden. You know that they connect to each other because of how we've indented it. This is a detail connected to this detail, which is connected to our topic sentence. Yeah, I want to see, can you guys do the same thing with either of these? Now, Raghav, I know that this will make you sad, because I do this every single time. I really should have done it last live stream when the task 1 was over in 20 minutes. It would have made so much sense because that was such a short one. Unfortunately, guys, this live stream has been going on for 2 hours, nearly 2.5 hours. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking around for so long. Unfortunately, I am getting tired and I still need to work tonight. So I am going to cut this live stream short, but I want you guys to see this is what we should be doing when we brainstorm. If you guys want to practice yourself, you can either do this in the Discord channel together. I can see that there's a bunch of you guys who are active and willing to do this. Go to the Discord channel, chat to each other, and work together to try to come up with big ideas and then also details for 1 or 2 big ideas for an essay. You can do this essay, you can do a different essay, just talk in Discord. Alternatively, if you are too shy to chat with other people around the world who are trying to do well on their IELTS journey, you guys can do one of 2 things for homework for this live stream. Number 1, you can come up with your own details for these 2. Just like we did here, can you do the same thing for this big idea or this big idea? Second is, if you really want to practice, can you practice turning this into a paragraph? Yes, because that's another problem a lot of students have. All right, you guys have been an awesome audience. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. If you guys have any questions at the last minute, I can answer them very quickly for the next 2 minutes. Remember, guys, our next live stream is going to be tomorrow at 8 with Phil, and you guys will be doing a task 1. You guys will be writing a task 1 together. So I hope you guys go, because you guys have been super active, and super active chats make me and Phil so happy. It really does. When you guys talk and ask questions and have comments and answer our questions, it really makes it so much easier to do these live streams. Doing a live stream to an empty chat room or to a quiet chat room, it makes us cry. You can't see my face, but there are tears. Also, if you want to see me, on Thursday at 2, I will be here again. Again, Raghav, I am so sorry. I feel like one day we will do the old problem solution essay body 2. I promise you, we will do it. Yep, so I hope to see you guys on Thursday. I hope you guys see Phil on Wednesday. And also remember, lastly, we have a live mock speaking test at 8 with Phil. I don't know why he said task 1. This is speaking. So Friday at 8, Phil will be happy to do a speaking test with you guys and give you guys feedback. Thank you guys so much for joining. You guys have been awesome. I hope you guys keep working hard. Remember, read every day if you have trouble with your vocabulary, and I wish you guys luck. Thanks for joining, guys. See you next time.